To all my people out there that don't drink or do drugs, do you ever feel like you're the only one? I've been straight edge for 5 years now, and sometimes I feel like I'm the only one in my different friend groups who doesn't partake. I don't really like to put labels on it, but a former mutual asked me last year if I do any recreational drugs, and after saying no, he said, "Wow, so you're like straight edge." So that's what I'm going to call it because that's a commonly understood term. My journey started when I was 17 and first tried alcohol. I was at a hangout with a friend and his mutuals when he said that we should drink to celebrate our future. Like anything good's come of that. So he snuck out his mom's vodka and poured us each a shot that we all diluted with Sprite. It was terrible. Genuinely the worst thing I'd ever drank in my life at that point. The next time was when I was 19. I was at a party and I sipped off a couple types of beers to see what all the fuss is about. You know those movies where the kids manage to steal or trick an adult into buying them beer only to taste it and get grossed out? That was me. Again, I couldn't understand why people liked it. From this point, I'd try alcohol here and there to understand what was so good about it, and I never managed to find out. It was during that time that I started experimenting with marijuana too. The first time was with my brother at a friend's house, and neither of us felt affected. They must have had some cheap shit because after that experience, each time we smoked with friends, we felt it. But the strange thing was that I never liked the process of getting high or being high. It always made me feel crappy afterwards, and I hate coughing, so having to smoke was terrible. And don't get me started on edibles. Those are some of the nastiest things I've ever eaten. Anyway, I wasn't an active smoker, I didn't have a plug, and I'm a cheap prick at heart, so I never bought anything. I'd only ever have it when someone else offered some to me. I started to change my mind when I was 20. I was acting in 2 plays for my university at the time, and I wanted to be in a completely neutral state of mind while acting. This way, I'd have full control of my mind and body at all times. I decided that the best way to achieve this was with a tolerance break until that semester's theater season ended. During that break, I never felt the temptation to do it again. It was the complete opposite of what I observed when some of my friends tried to tea break, where they were visibly upset the whole time and kept fighting the temptations only to quickly give in. This made me realize that I should just stop altogether. Though, that would take me a little bit longer. First, I ended that tea break with a friend by trying his dab break, where I coughed so hard I thought I was going to throw up, and then passed out for 2 hours. After that, I wouldn't touch weed again until I went on a beach trip with a friend a week before my 21st birthday. You know, the "these edibles ain't sh" meme. That was exactly what happened to me. When the beach starts spinning, you know something bad's happened. So that was the last time I ever had weed. My goodbye to alcohol came soon after that. For my 21st birthday, my college mentor took me bar hopping. We went to all of his favorite spots around town where he bought me all of his favorite drinks to give me a taste of what the best had to offer. I slipped off each drink but didn't finish any of them. That's when I realized that drinking wasn't for me. I'd like to say I'd never bought a beer in my life, but the real last time was a month later when I bought a case of Megadeth's A Tout Le Monde beer. I'm a big Megadeth fan, so I had to try it once. It sucked. But I'm not a beer guy, so I'd probably say that about any band beer. Sorry, Dave. Since then, I haven't touched weed and only had a drink of alcohol by accident. I'm what you'd call a square. It's been 5 years and I've never once felt the urge to go back. I don't have an addictive personality, so maybe that's the way it was always meant to be. Although I do love telling people I turned 21 when I got sober just to see the look on their face. What surprises me, though, are the strange ways that people react to my being straight edge. Every time a friend or mutual offers me beer, liquor, or weed and I turn it down, they look shocked. It's like I just told them something unfathomable, like that I eat coal or that liking lollies is cool. The same way people react when I say that I don't want any tattoos, but that's a different video. It's also part of why I don't like bars. Going to bars makes me uncomfortable for several reasons. I get claustrophobic in crowds, I don't like loud noises so I always have to go with earplugs in, and I always feel like a dick for not ordering anything besides water. I've only ever gone to hang out with my friends, but it's always an unpleasant experience for me because I'm so out of my element. And the worst part is that people always look at me weird the first time that I say I don't drink or I hate bars because I know the social expectations people have about drinking will make them think I'm weird. I just don't feel like I belong. Like,
one of these kids is not like the other. One of these kids is dead.
The potheads can be just as obnoxious though. Most people I know personally who smoke try to be accommodating, but they'll still do shit like blow it in your direction or smoke their pen in your car and assume it's okay because they blew it out the window. But it never gets out entirely. Trust me, it doesn't. Nothing pisses me off more than people who do it at work though. I do part-time work as a stagehand, and I know there are people who love to smoke. We're doing a job that requires us to work with heavy objects, and these jerks are putting people's lives at risk, but they don't care because they're selfish. At my last gig, I was taking the elevator to leave the venue for the night, and I could visibly see the smoke from the douche that decided to hotbox it. So I had to breathe in and smell that nasty shit because someone just had to sneak a puff before going back to work. As much as I hate alcohol, and don't get me wrong, it's a much more dangerous vice than weed, it's easier to avoid when someone else is partaking because it doesn't travel through the air. The worst thing is when people who self-medicate say things like, "You can't get addicted to weed."
Newsflash, asshole!
You can get addicted to just about anything. If people can become addicted to gambling, porn, caffeine, sugar, you can become addicted to your pen or plant. Not to mention studies have shown that it doesn't actually improve your mental health and the results are inconclusive. Also, if you self-medicate, don't ever compare that to people who've been prescribed depression meds by a doctor because this will upset them.
I had to go through a stressful trial and error process with different medications to find the right combination of pills just to function normally. You're lighting up in your bedroom. We are not the same.
Maybe I'm just being cranky, but sometimes these things just get to me. Whether it's people peer pressuring you to drink or blowing smoke in your car, or just being inconsiderate in general, dealing with these kinds of people and seeing how many there are some days makes me feel like I'm alone. On the other hand, I should acknowledge the people who recognize that they have a problem and work to change for the better. Addiction is real, and quitting can be hard for people. So I think that we should show respect to people who are working through their personal demons. Shout out to a friend of mine for being a year and a half sober from alcohol, and to my college mentor who's been clean since February. What both of you have done takes a lot of self-control and personal growth, and I think you should both be very proud of yourselves. What about you? Do you ever feel like you're the only one in your life who's straight edge? Have you ever struggled with addictions to these vices? Do you think I'm a lame square? I sure do! Tell me about it because I like reading other people's stories. Goodbye!